Hi Flosstube, I'm Jem and this is my channel Stitch and Jem, and I'm back for Flosstube number 23 and I have a lot to show. I have been to retreat at my local needlework shop. I have a lot of haul, I have a lot of whips, and I also have my Market Mania final plans. Everything's kitted up and ready to go, so I can't wait to talk about Market Mania in full detail. So I am just going to jump right in. But before I do, I just always want to say thank you. Thank you so much to everybody who's watching, and thank you so much to all of my new subscribers, my returning subscribers, everybody who likes and comments on the videos. It really makes a huge difference in, just knowing that people like your videos. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for all of the stuff that you guys do. Okay, I am going to jump right in. I've got my whips like kind of scattered all around me. So I am going to start out with Tong Uffindell. I'm stitching this with Audrey from Stitch Stitch Bead. And she has broken this up into 12 parts. And let me see if I have. I do. So she has broken this chart into 12 parts. You do 3 flowers a month. And then you do one of these middle sections. So that makes it nice and easy and achievable to finish in a year, which is what we're going to do. I am stitching mine on 40 count Cafe au Lait by Zweigart, and I'm using all of the called for soie d'Alger. And here is my progress. She's big, so I have to kind of put her on a board just so I can show her off. But these 3 flowers are new. And then I have completed this yellow delicious plant here, or whatever this is supposed to be. And this colorful little pot it's in, and these little 2 doodads on the side, and this grass. And so that will complete month 2 for me. And I am going to stitch on her today, and I'm going to stitch on her pretty heavily until May so that I can get a good go on month 3. And so let me just move this out of the way and show you what I will be doing for month 3, because I am going down. So I am going, see, I did these first 3 flowers, and then I did this portion, and then the next 3 flowers, and that's the portion that I did this last time. And then I'll go down and I will do this, the birds and the tree here, this part of the grass, and 3 more flowers. This is super fun. We're only about to be on month 3, or we're technically already into month 3, so join us and catch up, and then you can finish her in a year like we do, and it'll be super fun to see everybody's finishes in 12 months. And we started her on Valentine's Day, so we should both be done by Valentine's Day next year, which I'm super excited about because I want her up on my wall. The next project I have is my birthday start from 2024, and it's With Thy Hands by Teresa Kogut. This is a gorgeous chart. And I am stitching mine with all the Vicki Clayton silks, and I am stitching mine on 46 count Salt Ash by Cedar River. And here's my progress. So I had everything done except for this. So that's all I was able to get done in one day, and it kind of bums me out that I'm not spending a little bit more time on this, but I've got a lot more things to stitch on, and so that's the coverage on it's really good, and both the linen and the floss is just gorgeous, but I'm gonna have to do something more than one day. So maybe we'll see about getting some extra days in on With Thy Hands, but I did get that my first little heart and hand symbol or motif or whatever and I have one more to go, and then I'll have the house, and I can really start working on the trees and things like that. But I thought I'd get these hands done and these butterflies done and kind of work my way down, go band by band. I do have all of this done, and I need to fill in some more on the top border and then on the side borders too. But on 46 count, it's not going to be huge. It's going to be actually really sweet because that's as far down as it goes. So got some work to do on it, but I do pull that out on the 14th of every month. So that is with the hands. My next project is my model stitch that I'm doing for my local needlework shop, Prairie Moon Primitives. I have really been dragging on this, but I've set a goal for myself to do a certain portion of it every month, and I've been doing pretty well on that since I traded it over from my 2 threads a day. It was just burning me out to do 2 threads a day, so I decided to do this instead. This is God Bless America by Plum Street, and my goal for this month was this on the sides, these two, and this strawberry, which was about a page finish. I realized later that it was actually, the other strawberries weren't included, but I met my goal. I just need to fill in the seeds for that one strawberry. And I don't know if you can see it, but yep, there is the quilt blocks and the strawberry and the little quilt block lower. I see a finish very soon in my future on this one, so this is it. So after I do the last 3 strawberries, which I will do in May, I will have the border to fill in and the house. And surprisingly enough, the border does have a roof. It's just very hard. It's ghosty, very ghosty, even in person. And it's the call for overdyed, so you can see it kind of has some, but it's very hard to see. But that is my God Bless America, and it's been my kryptonite for a while, but as I get closer to the finish line, I am very happy to almost have that one done. So, on to the next. Okay, so WIP Go. My WIP Go pulls were both by Needlework Press this month, so I was very happy about that. I went to summer school last year, and during summer school, we got this project, Sarah Pew 1822. And this is the project, but I did not want to do, this is all over one, and so is all of this. No, these are all over one, and so is this. And so she did include, I'll show you real quick, boop, an over 2 version that is charted in, that is what I'm gonna do, or that is what I'm doing. And I'm stitching mine on 46 count Brea by Needle and Flax. And here is my progress on Sarah Pew over 2. So I had everything. I had all of these flowers, and I had the top part of this. I got the basket done. I got these 2 motifs done, this all done, and all of the words. And I'm very happy with her. I need 3 more days on this, so I will be stitching on this for the rest of the month to meet my WIP Go call. And so I will fill in this side of the border with the greenery and the berries. And then there is a border to separate here that goes along here that I will include as well. But that is my Sarah Pew over 2. And I just love this. And it looks really good on this fabric. You can't really tell on camera, but that Ginger Snap by Classic Colorworks really pops. And so it's not going to be very big, but there'll be a whole another bottom section, and then I'll be done. But it's all like fun motifs and flowers and stuff. So, yeah. Love that. It was hard to put down, but I'm glad I don't have to because I need 3 more days on it. So I'm going to get that whole top portion done. And I was hoping maybe to, we'll see what it looks like by the time I go to summer school this year. I did get into summer school for 2025 this year, and I'm really, really excited. I get to see all of my Arizona peeps and mainly my bestie Vashti and Angie. Jeez, can I talk? Can I talk? No, I can't. Okay, last whip. As I segue into Market Mania, this last year was my favorite market release. It is from Needlework Press, Ellen Carr, 1843. I absolutely love this chart with everything in my being. There's nothing about it that I do not love. I just think this funky flower situation, these funky trees. I mean, I just love this chart. And so for Market Mania last year, which was a little bit less known about last year, we had like just a few people join me, but that's okay. We got a lot of people joining me this year. And so this was my first start for Market Mania last year. And here is my Ellen Carr. So I have, oh, and I see where I have missed flower, one of the little leaves there. That's fine. I'll fix that. But the border has gone all the way around. Of course, it matched up. Everything was fine. I have that, all of the little white berries or whatever on that tree done. And so I just wanted to get in the bones of the border and everything that the border needed in order to make sure that I could just start filling in all of the good and fun parts whenever I got back to this. I did reach my goal of 5 days on this for this month. But it is on my WIP Go board 2 more times. It's already been called twice for me for this year. So I would love to get this done and work on it a little bit more, but we'll just have to wait for it to be called. But I got a lot done. And I did some border stitching, you know, in honor of Kim. Just kidding, Kim. I know she's working on this one too. So that is my Ellen Carr, and it's a good way to segue into my Market Mania plans because that is my last whip, and I cannot wait to show my Market Mania plans. So, Market Mania. What is Market Mania? Market Mania is something I made up last year, and it is just a way to start all of those wonderful market projects that come out and we say, oh, we're going to start this, so we're going to start, you know, and there was no, I think it was called the Nash Bash by Lindy Stitches, where, you know, you could start a bunch of things and have a start-a-thon and all of that. That wasn't going on last year, and so I wanted an opportunity to start all my market stuff or start my 4 favorite market things in the month of May for Mania, because I love to participate in Mania. I just think it's fun. So that being said, I will start one new market release from this year's market, but it can be any year, on Monday every week in May. So there are 4 Mondays in May, and I have 4 projects that I've selected. I am stitching, I want to say this is Anneke Boer, but I was probably wrong about that. 1801 by Twin Peak Primitives. I love this chart. And so did my friend Angie. So we are both going to start it and stitch it in May for Market Mania. This is called Blood Moon by Stitch Me, and I have chosen to stitch it on 40 count Harvest Wheat by Color and Cotton. So, isn't that going to be fun? I'll put this on my farm wall. But that is what I've chosen for my first Market Mania pick. This is a PDF, so I just printed out the front page so I can show it to you guys. These are in no particular order because I have not decided on order yet. My next Market Mania pick, I think a lot of people are stitching this and a lot of people love this chart. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Stitches Be Sweet by Jeanette Douglas. And this is just gorgeous in so many ways. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about it. Now, there is a floss pack that Jeanette Douglas released, and it has, you know, just the amount you'll need. I'm not sure how like available that is, but I have decided to use the Vicki Clayton Silk Pack. So if you guys decide to use the Vicki Clayton Silk Pack, she has them all ready to go. And she has really taken a lot of time to curate this and go based on the photo in the front to make sure that the floss amount is right, and also to just the colorway. And it looks like, though, you can see the shine on those. And so I'm so happy. Look at that. And of course I have them on my favorite floss drops from Audrey. But look at that shine and color saturation. So if you guys, and I can also say that is only $55. I know that the one that she was selling was a little bit more expensive, which is fine, because she had to source all of those different dyers, but she's done a great job here. I mean, you can see the color saturation there. I have chosen Sandcastle by Fox and Rabbit for the fabric, and it's 46 count. So if you can kind of see this delicious scenario here. Oh my God. So I love this. I love everything about it, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. Check Vicki out for this silk pack. I'm so glad they're shining like they are because they just look gorgeous. And so that is Stitches Be Sweet by Jeanette Douglas. And I cannot wait to start that. It might possibly be my first start for Market Mania because I'm so eager to start that. And I don't think I have ever done a big sampler by Jeanette Douglas. So it's going to be really fun to stitch this up and then do the others that she kind of has that are similar in this type of sampler series that she has going on. You know, she does all the series, and that makes it so fun to get one done, then you want to do them all. So that is my second pick for my Market Mania. My next pick is no surprise to anybody. And if this is your first time watching my channel, I love yellow. It is my absolute favorite color of all times. And I am just so absolutely obsessed with this chart. This is Honeybee Sampler by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. And a lot of people are stitching this one with me, and a lot of people have already started it and all that good stuff. But I definitely wanted to be different, and I thought I was going to choose a silk for this, but I have decided after looking through my floss stash, if I could use the words, I have decided to use Old Oak Tree by Classic Colorworks. So I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm saying, but that is going to be pretty awesome. I was just going through and looking through all of the things, and I was just like, I don't want to do something that everybody else is doing. I really want to do my own thing, and I think this is it. So I'm stitching this on 40 count buttermilk by Color and Cotton, and I'm using Old Oak Tree for my floss. And that's going to give me the look. That's going to give me the, it's going to be a little bit more yellow than brown. And I think this is Creme Brulee by Roxy Floss Co., which is gorgeous. But for me, I needed a little bit more yellow. And so I did have some silks, and I did also have Vashti. She, bought and got me some silks as well, but it just ended up working out perfect with these two. So I am almost positive I'll have enough with 2 skeins, but I do have another one just in case I need it. Okay, last but not least, my favorite market release of the year. I was very upset because I was unable to get the sampler box, the first sampler box that Box and Rabbit offered. But they released this Elizabeth Cheavins 1869 at market, and I knew I had to have it as soon as I saw it because it was what I always wanted. This is the one thing that I was like crying about because I didn't get that sampler box. And so I am stitching my Elizabeth Cheavins with all of the called for weeks. And here they are. They're so delicious. And I am stitching it on 40 count aged paper. And let me see if I can get all this together to kind of show you how perfect everything is. Yes. So I have 2 Color and Cotton fabrics for my Market Mania. I have a Fox and Rabbit that was a market release, which is Sandcastle, which was what I did last year. I used one of their market released linens for Ellen Carr, and then I will do the same with Stitches Be Sweet, and then I get to do the sampler of my dreams. The only thing that would be better about the sampler is if all of where the red was in yellow. But I don't know if I could handle that. I would have stitched it immediately. So I love this. And I still have not picked anything that I could say, oh, this is definitely going to be number 1. I do think that because I'll be home for all of the starts, I am excited to just start on Monday and stitch on them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And all of the retreats and stuff that I have for May are going to be, they'll be over the weekend, or they'll be, it's just starting on Wednesday. So I'm excited to get started on Market Mania. I hope you will join me. There are no rules. You don't have to start on the Mondays like I do. You don't have to do this year's market. You don't have to do giant things. You could do the smalls, something from the cookbook. Any of those things would work for Market Mania. I just want you to join me. So if you do decide to join me for Market Mania and you're participating, would you please tag me in your photos? And like I said, I'm at Stitch and Gem on Instagram. And that way I can see them and post them on my story, and it'll be so fun to see what everybody picks. I know that Tara has her picks ready. Kim has her picks ready. I think Audrey and Vashti are narrowing down theirs. I think that Sean Periwinkle Stitcher might join me. Thank you, Sean. And so many others. And so I know I'm missing like Laurel, I'm a Stitch Nerd, Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, and Krista Wildflower Stitcher. They are all getting their picks finalized, and I'm sure they will show them on their upcoming videos. But tag me on Instagram and show me what you're stitching. I can't wait to see everybody's favorite Market Mania picks. And it's going to be so good. So I'm so excited about that. Now, what am I going to go on to? Let's do regular haul. So I do have a significant amount of haul just from the last couple of weeks. Things just started coming in. I also have quite a bit of Stitchy kindness, and so that's what I want to start with, is some Stitchy kindness. As many of you know, my bestie Vashti works at the attic, and when I was there for Sampler Symposium, we made little Ort tray thingies out of this red sampler fabric, and I'm just like putting it together just so you can see. And this one was the one that we gave to Jean. Of course, you guys know that Jean has passed, and they were bringing some of her things back to the attic, so I have the one that I gave her, and I'm so grateful that I do have this, because we didn't keep one for ourselves or make one for ourselves. But this is, and so she so graciously sent this back to me. So thank you so much, Vashti. But wait, there's more. Does everybody know Vashti, Cute Olive, on Flosstube now and everywhere else? She is, or Olive Green. They're interchangeable, pretty much. Anyways, she had a birthday. And so we did all the birthday things and all that, but she decided that me and Audrey also needed a Vashti birthday gift. So she got us presents for her birthday. And she wouldn't tell us what they were. And she says, oh, you could put all your Kohanas. Well, we don't have that many. In fact, I have one pair, and I believe that Audrey has 0. But look at this. Now, Audrey and Vashti's have a red band, and mine has a gold, which is the closest to yellow that you can get. But I'm going to try to do, okay, so this comes off. So you can put all kinds of stuff in there. But the main thing that I'm going to use mine for, this is going to be my excuse to get a bunch of Kohanas, is it's a scissor frog. It's a scissor thingy. And I don't want to drop this or break it in any way, but look how beautiful this is. So thank you so much, Vashti, for this. And I will get some scissors put in that, and I pray, in fact, I'm going to move this further over because I do not want it to. Anyways, thank you, Vashti. I love that. And then for my Market Mania, she wasn't sure if these might work, by Dinky Dye. One of them is Kogut, and the other is Aussie Gold. I'll use them anyways. Look at them. How gorgeous they are. Excuse me. And then she had an extra one of these because, not sure the reason why, but she sent it to me, and I really do love this sampler. So it is by Cross Stitch Antiques, Kathleen Littleton, and just a really beautiful chart. And Hunt, don't know what that last name is. But thank you, Vashti, for that. And that is all my Stitchy kindness. So it was a lot. I feel like that was a lot for somebody to get you on their birthday. So, okay, on to the rest of the haul. So I did get, and I've had this since it was released for the Friends of Hands Across the Sea, but the Queen of the May for 2025 is Elizabeth Stevenson. And did you guys see the new panels that have come out that have the fabric with them and just all of the things, right? So about this, I am stitching mine on something by Cedar River Linen. I have not received my linen yet from her, but when I do, I'll make a decision of whether or not I'm going to do it on pyrite or salt ash. I am going to stitch mine on 46 count with a called for 103s. And I think that Audrey wants to start this on May 1st. I just don't think I'm going to have my stuff by then, so we'll see when we decide on it, but either way, starting this soon. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous. And I got my fabric for from Guerin Stitchery for my fabric of the month for Seraphim. It's 40 count almond cream by Seraphim. Is that not gorgeous? Ooh. So got that. I got my Belle Soie from Classic Colorworks. Sun-Drenched Violets, Cobblestone, and Petunia. Very pretty. I know that I got my kit from Circle of Friends from the Silver Needle, and this month's designer was Shakespeare's Peddler. Look at this. Now, these two little people here might get bumped, and I might put some more like quilt blocks in, or I don't know, but they're gonna get bumped even though they're friends, and all of this yellow goodness will stay. And it's everything. It's the finishing trim, it's all of the floss, it's a needle, it's a fabric, it's everything. So isn't that cute? Love it. And I think, I don't know, but I think you can still get in that club if you would like to. I'm not sure about that. Krista, you'll have to remind me if that's true or not. I'm not sure. I also saw that Nicole from Nicole's Needlework was starting to do bags again. And boy, it was tough to get this bag. It was so tough to get this bag. But I love this fabric. And it's really, really made well. So, got that. I also was able to get from my LNS all of the new Weeks Dye Works. Now, LaDawn, if you're watching this, which you might be, thank you so much for bending down low and getting me these flosses. I was supposed to be helping her, but I only got the ones that were up top, and I didn't have to bend down, and she did. So, thank you, LaDawn. And so everybody knows the colors. I'm not going to read them, but they're pretty. They're really pretty. So those are the new Weeks colors. Yeah, there's 5. What else? Okay. Connie, Sheila, look away. Connie, my dearest, dearest friend that I will be seeing in a couple of weeks when I go to Farm Girl Dry Goods retreat. She loves sheep. She loves. So I got these U-winders, and oh gosh, that's gorgeous. And look at this. They're mother of pearl. Can you see that? They are so good. And kind of ruining the surprise, but she doesn't know when she's going to get them. Well, she knows she's going to get them. She just, you know, pop them in the rest of her gifts that I'm getting her for the retreat. And then, so this is not really haul for me. This is a gift. And another gift for my friend Sheila, who I will also be seeing at Farm Girl Dry Goods. It's got a crown. This is by Lady Dot Creates, and it is a zipper pull, and it's got all kinds of like star, moon. She'll love it. She'll love it. Okay, and then I forgot this Stitchy Kindness, but this is from Tammy Latimer. She is Vintage Stitchers on Etsy, and she gifted me this because I had her make all of my, let me see if I can get that glare off, there we go, all of my retreat gifts for Farm Girl Dry Goods, and I wish I could show them to you. I'll show them to you on a later video because you guys, they're good. They're beautiful. And so she sent me that. So thank you so much, Tammy. Thank you so much for your beautiful work. And yeah, you guys check her out, but don't check her out too much because I just want her for myself. And then I got some fabric from Fat Quarter Shop. Watching Fat Quarter Shop's live streams for their quilting is usually not the best idea. I'm just going to put it out there because this is by Corey Yoder. I don't know. Okay. It's a bloom. That's the name of the fabric collection, is called A Bloom. And so I chose 2 prints from A Bloom. This being one of them. I'm sorry, these are all together. So like I kind of had to separate them out just now. But look at that. And this is much more pink, peach in person. It's kind of getting washed out. Like the background is white or like a cream, and it's not. It's pink. It's very pink. So I got that. But wait, there's more from the same line. So I also got from A Bloom this gorgeous. So I think these will go together. Well, I mean, I know they go together. Oh, there you go. There you can see the peach now that that blue is up against it. And she came out with a panel that has quilt blocks that are cross stitch. Look at these. So I had to have them. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. Beautiful. And just the most scrumptious fabric. So I got that. And then I have some panels that this fabric goes with, and I just thought I'd hurry up and get this before it was unavailable. But this is going to be my border for, I don't think you even have to wonder why. I love this. Look at this fabric, you guys. Oh my God. So this is like going to be my border fabric. I'm going to use this as a border fabric for the panels, and I'm going to make it into a quilt. And this is going to be my sashing. It's probably no surprise of why. But this is Magic Makers, the Magic Makers line and the Magic Makers panel. Look at this. Oh my God. Yes, please. It is just as spectacular in person as it is. I need to stay away from all of the great fabric that has been released very recently because it is gorgeous. There's no fabric that is even coming out. Moda, Riley Blake, all of the, just, it's too much. So that, no. I also got at my LNS 40 count Sunshine Days by Lap and Loops. Ooh. More fabric that I just thought was super cute. You can make curtains out of this. Look at that. It's so good. And then this, what came out at Market, it is called, and I don't, now this is a kit. It has the pattern, it has the floss, the fabric, and the box that it comes with, all included in this, and it was not expensive. And this is by Sylvia, Running with Needles and Scissors. And it is called My Humble Homestead. And I know it's a small picture, but look at that barn. It's just a nice little sweet design. And like I said, everything was included. The chart, all of the floss, which I'm not going to pull out, the fabric, and this box. And she shows you exactly how to paint this box and use it to put the design on top of, which I have not fully decided if I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be tiny. Just goes right on the box. So I love that, and my LNS had that, and so I was like, yes. It would have been nice for me to start a small, you know. Okay, and that is all of my regular haul. Stitchy Kindness, WIPs, Market Mania, everything. And so I am going to move on to my retreat recap. I know a lot of people, you know, if you weren't at the retreat or it wasn't a great, humongous, you know, one where, you know, a lot of people are showing on social media. So I wanted to give all of the details about it. But if you were just here for the regular stuff and don't necessarily want to hear about the retreat, then this is where I'll leave you. But I hope you'll stay because the retreat was awesome. Prairie Moon Primitives has never had a cross-stitch designer come and teach and present a project. This was the first time for Shellie Fry from Antique Needleworkers. It was also the first time for Prairie Moon Primitives to have a cross-stitch designer come and teach. So I was beyond excited, not just because I'm friends with Shellie, and that I love my LNS, but because I was just excited for both of them. So I am going to, let's see, start with the project from Shellie to us. And, oh, I'm sorry if that was noisy in anybody's headphones. And kind of go over how it was presented. Sorry, that box is full of all the retreat stuff. And so I was gifted this project bag from Prairie Moon. It was in their part of the gifts that they gave us, and they were a bunch of gifts. But we all received a project bag in our gifts from them. And so here from Shellie is Sarah Batt. And I don't know if you guys see the amount of yellow in this, but this project is gorgeous. The picture is showing it way darker, and the contrast on it's super high. And so it looks like it's really dark greens and things like that. And then the fabric is super white, but that's not it at all. We were also gifted by Shellie a paper craft project, and the reason I'm not opening mine is because everybody at the retreat knows this, and now you guys are going to know I did this completely wrong. I'm not a paper crafter. But this, and also, and I don't want to take this out of the plastic because it's got everything in it, but some of Sarah's smalls. So that's a needle book and a scissor fob. And they're just motifs from the sampler. And this is just, it was just so much. It was so good. And of course we got all of the overdyed cottons that went with this project. So if that gives you any indication of how gorgeous those are. And the amount of floss that we have is enough for both the large sampler and the smalls. So that's a really great color palette. The fabric was on 36 count because there's a significant amount of over 1 on but it was Heirloom by Needle Bling Designs. That's what 36 count. And this is my start. So not a ton, which you could, but I actually started it. And I'm really loving the coverage and everything on this 36 count, so that's why I decided to do it. And I also wouldn't mind doing the over one on something so that's such a, you know, high count. So there's that. And I am just, again, really crazy over the generosity from Shellie. She really did a great presentation over this sampler, and she really did a great job explaining for the Ada stitchers how to do the over one, how it was to be pierced. She just taught you anything that you needed to know that she could help you with the sampler or with stitching in general, like she always does. She always has those teaching moments. And so thank you so much, Shellie, for that. And thank you to Prairie Moon Primitives for having her, because it was really fun. Me and my husband and her husband went out to dinner before the retreat started, and it was really nice. So I loved that. I loved the project, but there's a lot more. So, of course, my table mates were the rowdiest of the bunch, which we always are. And Stitching by the Brook came, Krista Wildflower Stitcher came, Susan Jeffries, my new friend, came. They all came from far, you know, from far places in Oklahoma that, it was their first time at Prairie Moon Primitives. And also I was there with my bestie Gina, and she is local, you know, and I see her every time I go to Prairie Moon Primitives. But, so I made project bags for all the ladies and Shellie. And this is the fabric and everything I chose because Shellie loves butterflies and so does Krista. And so I got some Tilda here. This is from a line from Corey Yoder from Moda. And this is from Stacy Itzu Farmstead. And I just thought it all went really well together. I'm not the best project bag maker, but this is the one I made for myself. And so got that. And of course there's like a little yellow charm and my initials, and they all had their initials. So there's that. We also were able to choose whatever style t-shirt we wanted. I always get the baseball style when I do Prairie Moon Primitives because they're so soft and I like the way they look. But there is Stitching on the Prairie 2025. Love that. And then from Brooke, Stitching by, is it Stitching by the Brook? It's Stitching by the Brook. I said Stitching on the Brook earlier. But look at this yellow everything. Yellow on the inside. Thank you so much, Brooke. I love this bag. And we all started, and I don't have a copy of it because I got the PDF, but I'll put it right here. Vintage Sampler by Lori Holt, and we converted it because we had, at Prairie Moon Primitives, they have a full line of Cosmo, and a lot of the ladies had never stitched on Cosmo. So we converted them all to Cosmo, and I stitched mine on 48 count March Pane by Legacy, and I had this from home, and I started it. I have a start here. I don't even know where it is. It was in here, but I had a start on this. It went very, very south very quickly because I was wrong about the margins. I was wrong about the fabric size. And so I got the whole top border done, and it was too close to the edge for me to even comfortably stitch it. So I'm going to restart that chart, but I just wanted to show off my bag. It's also a gift. Look at that. Okay, and Now, I'm not going to be able to go through all of the gifts and haul, but I did buy some things from Shellie. Had a pop-up shop because Ginger wanted her to be able to sell her own things. And so I got Mary Wigton. It's a market release. I should have started it. And these are some project cards from Shellie. I also got a corner gauge from Shellie, and this is not from Shellie, but this is from LaDawn, and her son makes these, and I just thought it was so cool, and she gave me one. Thank you, LaDawn. But I also got a needle minder from Shellie, and I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. But there, of course, were tons of retreat gifts given. There were so many wonderful things. We got this little set from Prairie Moon Primitives. It has a chocolate bunny in there. Thread drops, scissor fobs. Here, there's a bunch of things in here, plus this great little case. And I haven't checked yet, but I'm almost positive that this will fit 100 threes. So, just so just in case. And they just always have the best retreats. Just FYI, they do have a retreat center there. The prices are ridiculously good. And so if you ever want to get a group of girls together and do your own like private retreat there with just you and your friends, guess what? You can do that at Prairie Moon Primitives. So call Prairie Moon Primitives and they will give you all of the details for that. But they are a great LNS for all of you multi-crafters who quilt and do wool applique and do anything else, EPP, anything that you could possibly imagine is at my LNS. So get ready to spend some money. Okay, what else? Oh, I have to show you this. I have to show you this. This is like one of my favorite retreat gifts. This was from Krista. And of course, you guys know she was my roommate at summer school last year. And there's a magnet in there for your needles. But look how yellow. Oh my God. This is so good. And so, yeah. Can't wait to put that by my stitchy area. I just love this. Thank you, Krista. Oh, okay, so Prairie Moon Primitives had these for sale. I bought this, and it had a pair of black, like, scissors on it, but I switched it for, they had other charms there, and so you just screw off the end there, and this is just a great, like, scissor fob situation, so they have those there. I love that. Now, my new friend, Susan, this was her first cross-stitch retreat ever, and she did such a great job, and she decided she was going to put all of her gifts in these yellow bags because she's great. And look at, I mean, she did this for everybody that was there. I mean, this is such a great gift. So thank you so much, Susan. And of course, because Shellie was the designer there, I have to show this. My friend Gina stitched this on 56 count. I don't know what the number MPI is, but of course it's yellow. And finished it, everything. I've shown this before, but I had to show it again because we were all showing ours off. It's tiny. So this is Shellie's freebie that she came out with when she first came out with her designs. So I have that. And there are a million other things in here. We all got these little chickens, and if you've ever been to Prairie Moon Primitives, you've seen these all over the store, but they have one in a bunch of different fabrics all over. So we got one of those. Of course, I showed you my project bag. We're gonna stitch it on the prairie. Love that. Lots of candy. This is the needle minder I got from Shellie. And that's her mail, of course. We also just got, I mean, there's so many things in this. Look at that. And of course, everything I got was yellow. Brenda, and then people are so creative. And so if you're ever wondering what to do for retreat gifts, or if you just want to do table gifts and all that good stuff, I have to show this. This is needles, pincushion. Look at that. So I love all this stuff. Obviously I haven't unpacked everything. I just put everything together so that it would be in the box. But there is even a lady, and please forgive me because I do not remember her name, but she had a box of antique threads, and she had this vivid yellow. 200 meters. Isn't that nice? So just a bunch of unique charms for your finishes. 2025 charms. There's too much for me to go through all of this, but there are tons of beautiful retreat gifts that you can make that are just really inexpensive, or you don't have to do them at all because they're great to have and they're great to give. But if it's going to stress you out for your retreat, don't do them. Just go and stitch with your friends and have fun, and that's all you have to do. So that is my recap for the Stitching on the Prairie retreat. Again, if you ever want to do a private retreat with just you and your girlfriends, they do have a retreat center. Call them for details. Again, I thank Shellie so much for just providing us with a gorgeous project and all of the things that she did. It was really great. And I'll see her, of course, in June at StitchCon. And I will see you guys all in a couple of weeks. I will be attending the Farm Girl Dry Goods retreat, and I'm not sure if I will shoot another video before that time because I leave on the 14th of May. So I think what I'll do is I will wait till I get home and unpack all of my things and show you all my projects and all of the things before I do another video. So until then, thank you so much for watching and happy stitching. See you next time. Bye.